Welcome to the Big Bang Theory. Get ready for another mind-bending cosmic journey, because this time we are diving headfirst into a truly strange tale unearthed from our archives. Static Bloom is what we're calling it, and it involves a teenage pirate radio host, this really unsettling conspiracy theory about the dead internet, and some pretty seriously bizarre consequences.
Yeah, Static Bloom, what a great title.
Right, I know, it's one of those that just grabs you, doesn't it?
It really does. It sets the perfect mood for the story, too.
Totally. And you listeners know you've been telling us that you love those aha moments, the ones that make you see things in a whole new light, those sudden bursts of understanding that don't leave your brain feeling like it just ran a marathon through a physics textbook.
We hear you, believe me, we do.
And trust me, Static Bloom delivers those aha moments in spades. We've got our stack of Big Bang Theory material right here, ready to unpack and explore.
All those strange signals, those glitches in reality, and the big question, what happens when someone tunes into a frequency they were never meant to hear?
Exactly. Our mission on this cosmic journey is to follow the story of Leo, aka Rex Nebula, and his pirate radio show, Quantum Leapfrog. We're going to figure out just what this dead internet he was obsessed with really is and try to make sense of the increasingly weird things that started happening during his broadcasts.
And don't forget about Maya, his best friend. She's the skeptical voice of reason in all this chaos. Her perspective is crucial to understanding how things went so sideways.
Okay, so let's set the scene for our listeners. Imagine a dimly lit basement, wires everywhere, a jumble of electronics, that slightly musty smell of old tech.
Right, and in the middle of it all is Leo, totally in his element, hunched over a cheap mixing board, fiddling with knobs, the glow of the chili pepper lights he strung up reflecting in his glasses.
Chili pepper lights. Classic. So Leo, or Rex Nebula, as his listeners know him, is broadcasting his show Quantum Leapfrog from this, let's call it, organized chaos. And right away, you get this really strong sense of the contrast between him and Maya, his best friend.
Yeah, it's like they represent two totally different ways of looking at the world. You have Leo, totally immersed in these fringe theories, talking about resonant frequencies, glitches in the matrix, alternate realities. He's looking for those cracks in the fabric of reality.
He really believes there's something else out there, something beyond what we can see and touch.
And then you have Maya, super practical, grounded in science and logic, basically rolling her eyes at half the stuff Leo says. She's the one who keeps his makeshift setup from completely falling apart, always soldering wires, troubleshooting tech issues.
So from this basement studio, Leo launches into his show, Quantum Leapfrog, where he dives into all these unusual phenomena. He talks about déjà vu, those weird moments when you feel like you've lived something before.
Right, or those times when you can't find your keys, and then they suddenly turn up in a place you already checked a dozen times.
Exactly. Leo calls these glitches, like little errors in the code of reality. And this fascination with glitches leads him to the concept of the dead internet.
The dead internet. It's this idea that there are these digital remnants out there, like a graveyard of websites, data, even whole realities that just faded away.
Or maybe never even quite existed in the first place.
And Leo, he's convinced that he can tap into this dead internet, that he can find echoes of what could have been. And one night, during his show, he gets this call.
A call that starts to blur the line between his theories and something much stranger.
The caller, an older gentleman, sounds really shaken, really distressed. He says the Hindenburg disaster didn't happen in Lakehurst, New Jersey, but that a Zeppelin called the Silver City crashed in Chicago in 1938.
And he's not just sharing some fun fact. He's genuinely upset that no one else seems to remember it this way. It's like he's living in a different reality, or at least remembers a different past.
And Maya, of course, she immediately jumps in with the logical explanation. Maybe Grandpa had one too many prune juices tonight, she says, trying to lighten the mood.
Classic Maya. Always the skeptic. But even Leo, who's usually all in on these weird theories, even he seems a little unnerved by the caller's raw emotion. It's like something about that call resonated with him on a deeper level.
It's like a seed of doubt has been planted.
Mm.
And then things get even weirder. Another call comes in, this time from a young woman. She's talking about President Armstrong, who signed the Lunar Accords in 1979 and implemented universal health care by '82.
Wait, President who? Lunar what now?
Exactly. It's like she's describing a completely different timeline, a world that diverged from ours at some point. And she's totally baffled that Leo doesn't know about any of this. She's just casually mentioning these things like they're everyday knowledge.
And the signal itself is weird, isn't it? Leo says it feels dusty, not like a normal internet call.
Right. It's like it's coming from somewhere else.
Right.
And this is where Maya's tech skills come in. She tries to trace the call, expecting to find some weird IP address, some unusual routing, but there's absolutely nothing, no source. It's like the calls are appearing out of thin air.
Talk about a ghost in the machine.
And it gets even stranger. Maya analyzes the data fragments from the call and finds negative latency, like the data is arriving before it's even being sent. It's impossible, defies all logic, all known laws of physics. It's as if the information is traveling backwards in time.
And then there's the static that cuts off the calls. Maya discovers structured patterns within the static, almost like a coded message hidden within the noise. And underneath it all, there's this constant low-frequency hum. It's like the universe is trying to communicate, but we don't have the right decoder ring.
It's unsettling. Static should be random, but this is organized, deliberate. And that hum, that resonant frequency, it's like it's facilitating these impossible connections. And then we get to the third call. This is where things take a really dark turn.
This is where the creepy factor gets cranked up to 11, right?
Yeah. The call starts with silence, then this eerie sound like wind blowing through digital corridors. Then you hear these faint whispers, overlapping, almost like they're coming from different places, different times. And then a synthesized voice cuts through the noise, cold, ancient, and utterly inhuman. And
It says, finds the cracks. Where's the code thin? Silence is coming.
chills, man, literal chill. It's like this entity, whatever it is aware of the vulnerabilities in reality, and it's actively trying to exploit them.
And right on cue, the basement starts to go haywire. The lights flicker, Maya's monitors glitch out, the server rack hums in sync with those disembodied whispers. It's like the strangeness is bleeding into the physical world.
It's not just in their heads anymore, it's right there in front of them.
And Maya, she has the sudden realization, Leo's broadcasts, his obsession with fringe frequencies, it's like he's put up a giant vacancy sign for these entities. He's inadvertently opened a door he might not be able to close.
And what's on the other side of that door? We start to get glimpses through those whispers. A child crying over a war that never happened in our world. A scientist celebrating a discovery that doesn't exist in our reality. It's like these lost echoes of possibilities that never were or maybe shouldn't be. And then there's the no. Not just silence, but a void, an active force that wants to consume and erase reality as we know it. It's hungry, and it's coming for them.
This is some seriously freaky stuff. So they try to get out of the basement to escape, but Maya realizes that the problem is the transmitter. It's the anchor point for this connection to the null.
And as they try to reach the transmitter, things get even crazier. A shelf falls, a soldering iron flies across the room. It's like this digital poltergeist is trying to stop them.
And you can just imagine Leo's internal struggle. This transmitter is his baby, his connection to the airwaves, his passion. But he knows he has to destroy it, that it's the only way to sever the link.
But smashing the transmitter isn't the end of the story. In fact, it makes things worse. The broken transmitter sputters back to life just long enough to relay a final, garbled message from that old man from the first call.
It's like he's reaching across time and realities to warn them.
He says, too late. The resonance point, not the transmitter. It's the frequency itself, anchored.
The frequency itself, what does that even mean?
It means the problem isn't the physical equipment. It's something much more fundamental, much harder to contain. And then Maya makes another chilling discovery. The core resonance is linked to the abandoned KSKQ radio tower on Miller's Hill.
This creepy old emergency broadcast antenna just sitting there on the hill, silently amplifying the signal, broadcasting their vulnerability to the null.
They decide to go to the tower. Maybe they can shut it down, break the connection. But as they drive toward Miller's Hill, there's this unsettling silence over the town. It's like the air itself is heavy with dread.
And they have this feeling of being watched, like something unseen is following them, waiting.
When they get to the tower, they hear this low hum coming from the base. The padlock on the access door is glowing with an eerie light. And then, that voice, it booms from the tower, declaring their reality offensive, initiating a quarantine.
So they're not just dealing with some random force. This thing is intelligent, it's making judgments, and it doesn't like what it sees.
Maya tries to cut the main power conduit with bolt cutters, and suddenly these cables come alive, whipping around like they're possessed, trying to stop her.
It's a crazy, desperate fight against this digital entity that's somehow crossed over into the physical world.
But Maya manages to cut the cable. There's a blinding flash, and then silence. Dead silence. But even though the immediate threat seems to be gone, Maya's still uneasy. She knows things are far from over.
And she's right. She checks her diagnostic app, hoping to find some explanation, and that's when they realize the horrifying truth. The source of the null frequency wasn't the dead internet. It was their own quantum leapfrog broadcast archive, labeled Echo 7734 null.
They didn't reach out to some other reality. They contacted a future echo of themselves, a corrupted version of their own creation.
So their show, their curiosity, their exploration into the unknown, it somehow gave birth to this destructive entity in their own future.
Talk about unintended consequences. And then, just when you think it can't get any creepier, Leo's phone vibrates. He gets a message. It's a voice message, a distorted, almost unrecognizable whisper of his own voice from the future.
And it says,
It says, "It's still listening, Rex. It always was. You didn't stop it. You just showed it the way."
and then click, dead air. It's over. Or is it? That final message, that's the real kicker. They didn't defeat the Null. They just made it aware of them. They gave it a way in. So what does this all mean? This cosmic journey into static bloom takes the idea of fringe theories to a whole new level of terrifying. What started as a quest to explore the dead internet turned into a potential encounter with a future corrupted version of themselves.
It really makes you think about those unintended consequences, or the things we might unleash when we delve into the unknown. Are we ever truly exploring something external? Or are we sometimes just echoing our own potential futures back at ourselves?
Mhm.
What cracks in reality might we be unknowingly widening with our curiosity?
It's a question worth pondering. Thanks for joining us on the Big Bang Theory for this mind-bending cosmic journey. Rate and follow the show for more world-bending tales.